Troop 3288. It's hard to put into words how we feel about this group of girls, now women, but it's easy to agree that Troop 3288 would not have been possible without our amazing leaders, Mrs. Mark, Mrs. Mason, and Mrs. Glass.
Kind of every day with every activity that we're doing, there's really nothing I think about more than the leadership and mentorship that I received from our three leaders in Troop 3288. And there's no one from whom that I draw more inspiration or would want to model more than these three leaders. Just thinking about the way that they led our meetings and helped us plan for trips 2 years, 3 years out, which is just a lifetime when you're only 12 or 13 years old.
I wanted to thank you all for everything that you've done, all the girls and the moms, and especially our troop leaders. I've had some great times, some huge adventures, life-changing experiences, and it wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for Troop 3288.
Thanks for introducing me to camping, especially lighting fires and outdoor cooking. Plenty of leadership opportunities, especially getting my gold award. Thanks for your continual support and being such a strong advocate for all of us. I know I'll be a Girl Scout forever.
I'm really, really grateful for the opportunity to have received that kind of leadership when I was growing up, and to really be able to start taking and drawing lessons from that that I didn't even realize I had learned at the time.
I have so many great memories from my time in Troop 3288. I think my first favorite memory would be when we were in Iceland and the whole troop was in the Blue Lagoon, and we had the mud from the lagoon all over our faces, and we were just having so much fun swimming around. And then I think my second favorite memory would be when we were getting our first aid badge, and all of our leaders individually faked having injuries, and I believed them every single time, even after two of them had gone and we were on the third injury, and it was very obvious that we were just trying to get the badge at that point. I definitely learned what to do in a first aid situation, but they made it very, very fun. And then my third favorite memory would be super recently when we were on a camping trip, just a few of us and the leaders, and we were eating s'mores, and I got to learn more about how the troop was created, and we played apples to apples, and it was really fun to get to hang out with them on one last camping trip.
I still remember going to the 2011 convention in Houston with Mrs. Mason, and that was just such an incredible experience. I'd never been to such a big event like that before, and I know that your contributions, even after I graduated from the troop, increased even more, and it just affected so many girls all over the country and the DC area.
My favorite memory of Troop 3288 was our trip to London and Iceland and the amazing friends that I made, and thank you so much to my leaders for making it such an amazing experience.
Definitely going to Ireland. Obviously, I'm Irish as they come, and it just was wonderful to be able to go home. I really loved how there was something for everybody on that trip, whether you were into theater or shopping or outdoors. It was just a fantastic trip I will remember for the rest of my life.
My favorite memory of Troop 3288 is Camp Skills Day, where we got to work with a lot of the younger girls to teach them camping skills, and of course our big trip to Iceland and England. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who made this experience possible, who made Troop 3288 possible. So especially a big thank you to our leaders.
So thank you, Miss Mason.
Thank you, Miss Mason.
Thank you, Mrs. Mason.
Thank you, Miss Mason.
Thank you, Mrs. Mason.
Thank you, Mrs. Mason. Thank you, Mrs. Mason.
Thank you, Ms. Glass.
Thank you, Mrs. Glass.
Thank you, Mrs. Glass.
Thank you, Mrs. Glass. Thank you, Mrs. Glass.
Thank you, Miss Glass.
Thank you, Mrs. Mark.
Thank you, Mrs. Mark. Thank you, Mrs. Mark.
Thank you, Miss Mark.
Thank you, Mrs. Mark.
Thank you, Miss Mark.
Thank you, Miss Mark.
Thank you for Troop 3288.
Thank you for giving us Troop 3288.
Thank you for Troop 3288. Thank you for giving us Troop 3288.
Thank you for giving us Troop 3288 and for allowing us to really become the people that we are today.